Lords and ladies, welcome to the BSW Backlog. Today we will be going over Wonder Woman, the Hiketeia. If I'm getting it right, am I? No. Is it supposed to be? Is it supposed to be like Hiketeia, or am I putting too much Japanese on it and it's Greek and I'm supposed to say it? Like, I don't. How would the? Yeah, I know. Right. Doesn't it? It's like, how would the Greeks say it? You know. Like, yeah, are you gonna look at the little... What is? Oh, really? The word?
I might have something. I don't know.
One second.
When you search just the word Hiketeia, it just comes up with Wonder Woman.
Nice. So it's just attached to it. I could see that. That's kind of cool if you created your own word for your own lore. You know?
Yeah. Play with mythology a bit. Create your own mythology.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I had to play with the volume real quick. I fucked it up. Yeah. So Hiketeia, cool. It's really, there's not even a definition. It's not real. It didn't even come up with a definition or anything. Really? All right. That's cool.
No.
I can appreciate that. That's neat. Tying a word into your own lore. You know. Well, good for him. Because that's almost like I mean, it's not.
Oh, I might have found something.
Ooh.
Hiketeia is a ritual supplication in which an individual embraces the needs of another. Oh, Tyler's there. Should we restart?
We can. Nah, fuck it. Let's roll. Because all I did was introduce it. Ty. Literally, I introduced it, and that was it. So I didn't even go around the room yet. So who do we got here this week? We are joined. I am your humble host, Dave, and as always, we have Sean. How you doing, Sean?
Hello. I am not too bad. Not too bad.
And
loving life.
Late to the game, but perfect timing, kind of. Ty, how you doing?
What's up, guys? Sorry about that. I literally just got out of the shower.
That's all right. Let me just switch this shit up now. I gotta just adjust some stuff on this on my end.
Have I shown you guys this yet?
What is it? It says...
This is a birthday gift I got a couple of years ago from a former coworker.
Brilliant.
She told me that her boyfriend was in a bad mood, so she handed me a big 8-inch long dildo to hold up like a telephone and wear this shirt that says, "I'm not gay, but $20 is $20. And she made this into a mug for me.
That's funny.
It's amazing.
Yeah, all I did was say the Hiketeia. Then I asked, am I supposed to pronounce it like Japanese? Hiketeia. But then it's Greek, so it's like, how am I supposed to say it? So then Sean looked it up, and he turns out it looks like Rucka may have... Oh, no, you just found something. You just discovered something, right, Sean?
Yeah, it is a ritual from ancient Greece where they embrace the needs of another in solicitation.
So it is real. We weren't sure if it was real or did Rucka make the word up for his lore. So
yeah, cause when you Google the word, it just comes up Wonder Woman stuff. Like
Rucka is one of those guys that when he steps up, he steps up. He's very committed to it.
Yeah, he goes super deep into the... He goes to the index library and he just starts scrolling.
But actually, he's pretty intense about it.
Yeah, that's cool though, because it kind of shows it's had a really nice tone to the whole book. How initial thoughts when you were done? Did you feel like it was satisfying, the whole story?
Dramatically.
This was really good.
So I didn't anticipate it to be able to read it in enough time. Sean was messaging me beforehand. He's like, "Are you gonna have enough time to finish it?" I'm like, "There's no way." And I just powered through it, and I'm like, "Oh,
it is a really quick read." Yeah,
dude. Yeah, I've only read Old Guard, I think, and this, and he's fast, man. He's very fast. I was like zipping through that.
Oh man, there's so much Rucka stuff you got to check out. He's become one of my favorite top 3 writers.
I need to check out more stuff.
The Old Guard was... I only read the Old Guard because we agreed that we were going to watch the movie, but I ended up really liking it. It was awesome. Super fast paced. And then I read this like early in the morning when I woke up, and like fast. He's fast. I guess breeze through it. It's nice. Very good pacing.
I've read some of his DC stuff, not a lot of it though, but yeah, I need to read a lot more of Rucka.
It's hard to like figure out some stuff to recommend. I mean, his Batman run is really good. But,
yeah, I was about to say he handled
Gotham
Batman
Central.
really well.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
What is it?
Gotham Central.
Bro, it's so good. It's
that's Rucka.
Greg Rucka, Greg Rucka, Ed Brubaker, Michael Lark.
Yeah, Brubaker. No, I thought it was just Brubaker. Sorry, I didn't know Rucka was on it. I thought it was just Brubaker.
No, man.
Okay.
I thought the same thing too, but
Okay.
oh my god, it's so good.
There's an omnibus. There's an omnibus for that. Might get
Is it omnibus or is it omnibuy?
I don't know. It's spelled bus.
I think it's
so it's spelled
plural.
It's spelled bus. And in music, we have these things called buses on our like music mixer tracks and shit. So I just went with bus. That was my rationale. But omnibuy. Oh, and you know what? All the people on the internet say omnibus. So that like because I watched this dude who like collects the omnibus. I mean, at least that's how he says it.
I don't know. Is there more than one?
Fetus. Do I say fetuses or do I say feti?
No.
No.
I don't know.
My feti are growing mold.
There is only one Gotham Central omnibus.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah,
contains all 40 issues.
Yeah, it's huge. It's a fat guy, fat boy.
Yeah, I need to read that.
So I like him.
So good.
Yeah, because that's a story of like the GC. That's actually just it's Batman's a side character and makes a couple appearances, right?
If it was me, I mean, if I'm going to recommend a Rucka story that's not Wonder Woman, I'm going to say actually check out the Batwoman story that he wrote, the introduction of modern day Batwoman.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I need
that character
is that the run that got editorial to ruin the end, and that's why Rucka left DC.
Oh, was that why he left? I had no idea.
Because he stopped Kate. Editorial stopped Kate getting married, didn't they? Or did they? That might have been a different one I'm thinking of.
I mean,
it might have been Andre.
Maybe I should be too surprised. Maybe. Hang on a second. Let me look this shit up. Go ahead and continue talking. Please
I kind of think this, and I'm not comparing it as it's the same. That liar story we just read,
dropped.
Right? Yeah, dropped. Right. Well, no, just the liar part. When you could tell when that ended. Like you could tell that almost seemed like that whole arc right there could have been written as a graphic novel and not tied into the story, and it almost would have been better because it kind of feels like it's a means to an end. The series starts with Wonder Woman really just like this starts and ends like it goes like this full circle story, and it kind of can leave her in the same place where she left off when this started. And then Liar kind of the same thing. You go through this whole thing, but instead they decided to continue Max Lord and all this crap instead of just. It could have been like a cool graphic novel like this. I felt like, and it actually would have read better and.
Okay, I just looked it up. So apparently a big reason why is because editorial didn't keep him on Wonder Woman, is it Earth 1 or Year 1? Like they had promised.
Yeah, it was
apparently they had promised him.
They replaced him with Grant Morrison.
But like, why? Like, don't get me wrong, I haven't read that story, so I can't make a judgment call on the book, but like, why would you do that? Why would you promise him that?
I don't know, but he ended up using his script for Earth 1 as his Year 1 story in Wonder Woman Rebirth. Yeah.
That was a good choice.
Yeah, he just adapted the script to be issue-ly instead of a graphic novel.
I mean, I know that Nicholas Scott and him had been talking for years about how they wanted to tell their story. So, I mean, it's good that they finally got their chance to. But, I mean, he did hop off DC immediately after he did that as well. I mean, he did his, 20, 30 issues, and then was like...
Yeah, I think 20 was his last. But then he did Lois Lane. So he still kind of got the foot in the door at DC.
Okay, but I got to tell you, if you haven't read that story, it's actually fucking good.
I read 6 issues and I need to finish it. I just sort of got busy and didn't finish it, but yeah.
How fast did you read Hiketeia?
Right in the morning, probably in 30 minutes, maybe. I had just
20
woke
minutes,
up.
I think.
Yeah, I just woke up and I kind of was like, nice, I'll read this. Yeah.
I had brushed off reading the Rucka Wonder Woman stuff for so long because I'm a fan and I like Wonder Woman, so I don't know why I put it off. But this was a nice, pleasant, quick read that I was just like, wow.
Yeah, definitely. It is like a graphic novel, right? It is just like a...
Yeah.
Graphic novel.
No, I mean like it's like pulp. It's not in it's not part of it's not part of her mainline story numbered or anything like that. There's not even chapters to it. It's one long line. Yeah.
There's just one single graphic novel that's released.
Yeah, I like that. It was cool. This is just my personal opinion. I think Batman's best appearances are as when he makes an appearance as a side character. not the main character. I think if you read
Okay.
he makes
Very controversial opinion.
Yeah, I
Jesus,
love when he
Dave.
appears. I think he in like Harleen, he makes this appearance and just his one line or whatever he says in it, or it's not like one line, but it's like 2 panels, and then he makes like another
Yeah, he
appearance later
doesn't
on.
appear in it much. Yeah,
It's only like, but it's awesome because I didn't even expect him. You know what I mean? I know Batman's on the cover of this, but I didn't know to what extent.
Yeah, I kind of get what you mean.
Yeah, I just think it's
I like
nice.
it when he
just shows up. Some of his best appearances are like, what? There he is. It's Batman doing his thing, but like you're not reading Batman right now. You're like, holy shit, he's still in the universe. He always reminds you that he's in the universe, somewhere along the line.
His appearance in Harleen was kind of like a bit like an Alien film where he's the alien crawling through the vents and like jumping out kind of thing.
Yeah, it was cool.
He's the monster there hunting down the bad guys.
Yeah, it was really neat. So I do like him in other things where his name's not tied to it because it's a surprise. And you never know what you're gonna really get because you don't know what Batman they're telling, until he appears. This one was definitely a very, he was pretty strict. I liked it. I liked his law. He had law. He had rule. He was like, nah, I don't care. I'm going, I'm taking her.
We'll briefly cover what the story is about, which is
why don't you hit the hole if you can hit it on the hole.
Yeah, so
ooh,
the opening is
it's not November, Dave. Come on.
True.
So the story sort of starts with we see this woman fighting a guy and she ends up killing him and fleeing the scene. And she gets chased by Batman. He's trying to hunt her down. And then the woman gets to Wonder Woman and basically pledges herself in Hiketeia, which is a ritual where they ask for protection and what would you say?
No, they humiliate them. Yeah, they have to like humiliate themselves and give themselves over to their, they become slave for protection.
Essentially,
Yeah.
So she goes to Wonder Woman to ask for Hiketeia because she knows Wonder Woman will protect her from Batman. And Hiketeia is enforced by the 3 Furies from Greek mythology. So if the nobleman or whatever breaks Hiketeia, they get killed by the Furies.
Yeah, it's funny. That's a shitty. I don't think I'd ever take anybody's Hiketeia, even for their slave, because then I, fuck it, dude. These 3 bitches be hunting me down.
These 3 bitches.
Yeah, they were like mean son of, they were. I don't know. I don't think I'd ever take the pack. The only thing I thought was Wonder Woman seemed to take it very easily, the Hiketeia, without. It would have just been nice if, like, the story they told in the beginning about the Hiketeia didn't really put me as to why she accepted the Hiketeia. Like, it wasn't that story in the beginning about the man who did the Hiketeia, and then he died by the 3 bitches. Sorry.
Yeah.
It just the only thing is
it does say in the beginning, refusal or denial is unthinkable.
Oh, okay.
Well,
so that would be the reason.
That's not,
it would have just been.
It is. It is explained at the end. Like, there's a part, remember, when Batman tries to do it to her, and she refuses him. So it's possible to do so. It's not that there's.
It's just it's not the tradition to refuse.
But it seems
it's not even just that. It's that she's just a good person. Like that's the idea of. She's like Superman in that way.
It would have been nice then, even if in the beginning, since this is like a graphic, or I'm viewing it as its own like story contained in its own self, but. If that's true, then maybe in the beginning we should have felt how good of a person she was, and that's why it really just kind of seemed like the person walked up to her door after she had a long day, and then she accepted it. Mm-hmm. If they could have given me a little more of like, damn, why would I understand the refusal part, but then you're right. Then he kind of dipped on or she did refuse Batman, so then that kind of throws that out the window. It's just something more personal to her because it kind of seemed like she just grabbed it. No,
this isn't the first time that she's done something like this, right? Like with the Brian Azzarello run, this same thing basically happened. She just didn't do Hiketeia on her. She just kind of walked up and was like, I'm pregonanant and Zeus is coming at me, bro. So it's not that uncommon. I mean, a lot of it is, in my opinion, like the themes of women supporting women in times of like maybe not just abuse, but just in need in general, sisterhood. Plus, Wonder Woman is just the kind of person who doesn't really care about like what the case is. She just says, "Oh, you need help? Okay, I'm there for you." Doesn't matter
Yeah,
what. She doesn't ask questions.
that was definitely made apparent, which was cool. You know, like that part, like in the book, like she definitely made it clear that she really didn't care what the reason was. You know, she it's fucked up. The reason is fucked up though. That was good writing. He went pretty dark with that story. The sister. So turns out that the sister was killing the people who killed her sister because she ended up turning to like she was pretty much like prostituted out because she was naive, a naive she was not a city girl. She was moving to the big city, you know. So that was a pretty deep story.
Yeah, that's what
that was cool.
I like. Is they showed the sister as this sort of she turned into like a hooker junkie kind of thing, but they made a tragic story out of it,
right?
In just a few pages.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it happened quick.
And just while we're on this sort of, sorry, go on.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to say, just while we're talking about this sort of scene of the sister, where it flashes back to her sister dying and getting hooked on drugs and stuff. Dave, I said there was a celebrity appearance in this issue. Did you see who I meant?
Oh, I kind of forgot that you said that, and I read it. No, but let me go back real quick. I'll look.
When we get the flashbacks of her sister dying and stuff, the next scene where we see the detective sort of standing over her body. Who is it?
I gotta go to it. I know it's.
Sorry, audience at home. Me and Dave have this thing where we look for celebrities who have been used as references for characters in comics.
I didn't know that.
Clint Eastwood
you said wait. Say it
in,
again. What part? What part was it again?
When the detective stood over her sister's dead body. Clint Eastwood appears in issue 7 of Undiscovered Country. Ed Harris appeared in Resistance by.
So you think that's Sam Jackson?
Yeah, that's Sam Jackson.
Oh, that definitely is. But yeah, that definitely is. That's pretty close. There's a couple people though who look like that. Like I can't remember names now though. But there's a couple people. But sure, I'll give you that one. Definitely Sam Jackson. It's funny how they model people, man. It's like they take that character reference and roll with it, and then don't. I don't know. They stick very cleanly to it, and you're like, holy shit, that's definitely the guy. Yeah. So how many pages was this? Like 150?
It was less than 100. It was 80 or 90.
83 or something like that.
Yeah.
That's good. That was fast, and it told it what it wanted to tell. Had a nice resolve too. I like the Batman. I like that Batman tried the Batman with the trick up his sleeve, trying that. That was neat. I would like to see.
Batman realizes Wonder Woman's not going to give it up, so he begs for Hiketeia, so he can sort of. Wonder Woman won't be able to stop him because he's under her protection.
I can't remember.
So he tried to trick her.
When he did and she refused, did he say it's not custom to refuse? Did he bring that up? I'm just wondering.
He did, but she said that you don't know your history then, because in the Odyssey or
he does deny him. He does deny him. That's right. Yeah.
It is pronounced Hiketeia. I just looked it up after finding 5 different articles.
Okay.
That's cool. This was definitely solid.
I'm going to give a shout out to the artist J.G. Jones. They are great.
Yeah,
it really sort of,
It definitely was. Yeah, how much of it did they do? Are they just the penciler in this one?
Just pencils, I think. Yeah, Wade Van Grober is inks and Dave Stewart is colorist.
Yeah, Diana.
Dave Stewart works with, I want to say, Liam Sharp or someone else. I can't remember.
Did you say Wade Von Grawbadger? Because I love Wade Von Grawbadger.
Yeah.
I like that they brought up the Diana flying kind of in the beginning. They're like, wait, I didn't know she could fly. You know, like it was one of the speech bubbles. I thought that was I didn't know she could.
Funny.
I didn't know.
It's one of those things that's.
I didn't know she could fly either. I didn't know.
Not a lot of people do. It's frustrating. There's a whole thing with that, but Greg Rucka kind of covers that in his year 1 story with Nicola Scott. It's well done. If you haven't read it, I recommend it. Oh wait, you know what's weird? Wait, is her year 1 tied to like Rebirth, or is that what it's tied to? Because it is the Rebirth story.
Yeah. So what me and Ty mentioned at the beginning of the episode was Greg Rucka was originally supposed to write Wonder Woman Earth 1, but then DC sort of removed him from the project and put Grant Morrison on it. So when Rucka came back to DC, because he quit after the Earth 1 scandal, I say scandal, it really wasn't very scandalous.
Mm-hmm.
But he just sort of readapted the script to be an Year One story for Rebirth when he was writing the
Is
character again.
hers the only Year One story that's tied to like something like that? Because like I feel like Year One Batman isn't part of. It's Year One. It's not Batman number 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's still, but Batman Year One was in the main series. It was Batman 404 to 407.
Oh, it was. Okay, it was.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was trying to figure out. Okay, so that's a normal thing then. It just seems like Batman Year One such a staple, and then I remember Superman
It has
Year
become
One.
standalone.
Superman Year One is that
Black
one?
Label.
That was strictly Black Label?
That's Black Label. That was just Superman Year One, issues 1 to 3.
That's okay. That's what I was trying to figure out. Okay, so then this Wonder Woman's actually kind of following the Batman.
Yeah,
Year One,
but it's still very standalone. You can still just pick up and read that.
Cool. Yeah, hell yeah. Does anybody else have a Year One? Any of the other members?
Flash does, but we don't talk about that.
Ooh. No.
Everyone has a Year One. Green Lantern Year One is Jeff Johns. Superman Year One
Secret Origin.
is Frank Miller.
Yeah,
sure. Yeah. That's a Year One.
No. It needs to say Year One. It needs to say Year One. That's it.
So there's the Superman one with Frank Miller. There's the Wonder Woman one, the Flash one that we don't talk about for some reason. And then I think there's another one I'm forgetting. It'll come to me.
The Flash one, I say we don't speak about because it was written as part of the ongoing run. It was like volume 11 of Josh Williamson's run, and it ties into the rest of the story, and it doesn't really stand alone, and it wasn't even very good.
I would like them to stand alone. That as like a staple point story.
Yeah,
it
had some good ideas, but the way it just sort of tied into the overall story, and it sort of fell flat in a lot of places. It was kind of disappointing.
Considering like you're a pretty big fan of Flash.
Yeah, I like most of his run, but that arc just sort of fell a bit flat.
What Year One story they told of Barry Allen Year One? Okay.
Yeah.
I want to see if there's anything. I don't know. I think Rucka hits a lot of the notes. He's not afraid to go like a little graphic, which is cool. You know what I mean? Like with his story, like it was pretty dark. You know, the whole shtick of it. Even like Hiketeia in itself is kind of a dark concept, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Like the fact that if you break it, you get hunted by the Furies.
Yeah, I just think...
Seems like the Furies are kind of hunting you anyways, right?
Yeah, they're waiting for you to fail. They don't want you to succeed.
Sure.
Damn. I'm trying to see if there was anything else that stood out to me.
The ending.
I don't know if you guys noticed this. It was, but I felt like that was kind of predictable just because it had mentioned brief tragedy.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think you were about to say that it's still really good, and it is.
Yeah, great tragedy. Yeah.
I feel like I keep going back to the opening pages and the Hiketeia ritual being performed back in ancient Greece, or what I'm assuming is ancient Greece.
Mm-hmm.
And the Furies hunting down that dude. Mm-hmm. So I didn't really think about this until just now, but I feel like I'm realizing that what happened was that beggar or whatever that guy was that was being hunted down by the rest of the other people, once he performed Hiketeia towards that wealthy man, and then the wealthy man asked him, "What did you do?" That guy who was being hunted by the other people revealed the information. Rich man discovers it and then murders him in cold blood in response to discovering what he did, which is really, really well done if you think about it, because by doing so, you're creating a parallel between what a normal person would do versus what Wonder Woman would do.
It's sort of elevating her to this platform.
And that ties it in. There it is. And that ties in what makes it more personal to her. What you just said. That was perfect. That was a perfect way to put it. Yes. Now I like the beginning way more. Because I
still
can see
feel like that could have been told a little better through the art.
Yeah, but that's cool. At least you pointed it out for me. That's a good parallel.
But just with the art, it looks like he walks up to him, smacks the food out of his hand, and just
if they could have maybe directly...
You bitch!
Yeah, they could have directly indicated that that's what the thought he had. Because then
I think the reason why I like it is because it's not really something you think about right away, right? Like you're just like, why did I read that? And then you come back to it.
Yeah, that was cool.
I get that.
Yeah, I take that. I like it now.
Yeah, when I was reading this, I did think maybe this will sort of come back in, or like it'll read better on reflection. Like after you finish the rest of the story, but I didn't come back to it. I didn't even think about it after I finished it.
Yeah, I rarely go back. I usually, if I go back, it's like to the previous page. You know, I'm like, wait.
Yeah.
You know, it's never like back to the beginning. Unless something full circles super hard where I'm like, wait a sec, this is how it started. And I'm like, oh, you know, you're on like a 20 issue run and you're like, what? You're like, holy shit, did that really just do that? You know, like that's beautiful. Yeah. So this is solid. I would give it, definitely read it. Totally worth it.
This I feel like is Wonder Woman's Killing Joke to an extent. This is sort of the graphic novel you would give someone and say, this is a self-contained Wonder Woman story. You can read this in one sitting.
Yeah,
definitely. I would agree with that.
I think that's another reason why I like it too, is that it really did just pick up, and then good writers who write the self-contained stories, like, you know, at any point in time, they get the run, or they get something and they do self-contained. A good writer always finds a way to slip in nods and notions to remind you of characters where they stand right now and stuff.
Yeah.
You know? Like, so it's cool, like the whole flying thing. I mean, it's just funny he pointed it out because at the time, you know, like that's funny. I'm thinking the same exact shit. So it's just little nods and notions to how the world's reacting to where they're at right now. And everybody praises her. She gets through to the, you know, her door's like, her door to her building was like blocked. You know what I mean? You had to like get in whatever. She was at the, what was it? She's at the ambassador. What was it? The embassy, you know?
Embassy.
Yeah, the embassy and shit. So, yeah. A good writer knows how to do the self-contained cool by tying that stuff in, you know? Making you feel like you didn't miss anything, even if you haven't. You just kind of know basic things of the character.
I mean, I don't really know that there's a lot of people that could say that they speak to a lot of, I mean, I'm guilty of it too. I've read a couple stories here and there, but there's a lot of normies out there when it comes to Wonder Woman. Even in the comics community, not a lot of people have read a whole lot of Wonder Woman. No one's been like, oh my God, Wonder Woman is this story blew my fucking mind. You know, like there's so many different authors that have been Alan Moore or Frank Miller that have done stories that are not Wonder Woman, unfortunately. And she's kind of been put on the back burner so many times.
Yeah, I feel like Wonder Woman is one of his characters, like she's not a Batman or a Superman where they have these epic stories. Like Green Lantern, if you take away Jeff Johns' run, there's very few Green Lantern stories to sort of recommend to someone. No.
Absolutely.
One story I heard good things
agree.
about. Yeah. Flash, you have Mark Waid's run. But outside of that, there's no sort of standalone stories you'd recommend. There's not a Hiketeia or Killing Joke, one single contained story you'd recommend to someone.
I would recommend to people, if they're looking for a run that was fairly short-lived, was Brian Azzarello's run with Cliff Chiang.
Was that short-lived? For one thing, like 40 issues.
I mean, it depends on what your ideas of short-lived are. For me, that was not very much. I mean, it lasted a good long while considering most runs, but I was kind of hoping that it was going to last a little longer. And then they ended up retconning most of it with Rebirth and then post-Rebirth and blah, 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 you know. Brian Azzarello did a really interesting story. And
I do want to go back and read his run at some point because I heard it plays with mythology really cool.
He plays with it really, really well. It's a very interesting...
That, you know what? I'm sorry. There's one that just reminded me something that happened in this book that I really did want to bring up, and I almost didn't. I'll find it real quick.
Did you guys hear that Kelly Sue DeConnick is doing a Wonder Woman story?
Yes, I did. The Black Label one with Jimenez. For those listening to the audio version, Ty is making sexual faces.
I am watching it now. I don't know if they're necessarily sexual faces, but these are definitely the faces that you make when you're like a hungry but slightly horny coyote in the wilderness.
The artwork of that story does look incredible.
I haven't seen anything about it yet. I'm going on to it right now.
I posted it in the chat a few weeks ago, and you replied to it and said how good it looked.
Okay, well, I might have succumbed to the ecstasy too much and then fainted into oblivion, so I'm gonna have to look again.
There's a part I just like when references to mythology are brought in, and she says, when she's talking to the three bitches, she says, she says, "Pay respect where respect are due, child of clay," which was cool because Hephaestus made man out of clay, for Zeus. You know what I mean? So that was just a nice nod to Hephaestus.
Sorry, I'm looking at the Phil Jimenez art.
Not as good as Jorge Jimenez.
It is Jorge Jimenez.
Oh, what?
Oh no, it's Phil Jimenez. My bad.
Okay. All right, cool. So yeah, I thought the Child of Clay thing was cool. Hephaestus, I like that was a good nod to Greek mythology. Let's wrap it up because we're gonna get on for anybody listening. Or whatever. We got a podcast we do every Sunday at roughly 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But yeah. So let me sign off with this. This was the BSW Backlog. I am Dave. There's Ty giving the rock and roll, and Sean with his little Charlie Chaplin. Hey, I like what you did with your wall so far. Nice. I don't know why it took me so long to realize. Nice. Fuck yeah. I
already had both of those. I got more posters arriving.
Yeah. That's dope,
middle of this week. Yeah.
Always got to have a chaplain. That's what I call my little ring dinger. A chaplain.
Wait, what?
No, I'm just fucking with you. Sometimes I just let my mouth just fucking run. I don't even listen to what I say. Yeah, so you can follow us on all the social media garbage. I think we do. Twitter is the only weird one. What is it, Sean? Can you remind me of Twitter's?
At SW Comics.
Yes, Twitter's at SW Comics. And then the rest are Sourcewall Comics. Reddit. You can get us on Patreon if you want to support us, which would be awesome. And we'll find a way
to give us money.
We're on Spotify now, aren't we?
What is it?
We're on Spotify?
Yes, and all the social media, and all the podcasts. So if you want to be a real patriot, listen to the podcast because that helps us out way more than YouTube would ever. But if you want to see our beautiful mugs, then watch the YouTube. Other than that, pretty much DM us if you want to. Honestly, I'm looking for somebody to come on and maybe talk about one of the weekly runs that we're reading. Could be anything. Maybe a Black Label coming up or something. But looking for a guest.
Group chat.
So yeah, exactly. I just incorporate the people's would be awesome. So that's going to be it for this issue. We're going to hop over to the podcast in a little bit. So ta-ta for now. Everybody want to say goodbye?